Hello everybody and welcome back to Timberborn. As always, I am Doran. Today we're going to go ahead and try and move all of our industry stuff, which is the two buildings that we have produced, over to the top layer here, and we're going to try and use this little chunk on this side of the land here to go ahead and have most of the things down that need power, and then we can go ahead and put houses on this side, and if we need to, we can go ahead and even place houses up here. We're going to also move our science stuff to maybe over here if we can, if it's big enough for a road to go down there as well, the pathway, just so it's kind of out of the way and we can go ahead and have a few of them down. And then hopefully once the beaver pods over here produce their beavers, we should go ahead and boost on up to 16 beavers. And then I don't know how close any of our beavers are currently to dying from old age, but hopefully the breeding pods can go ahead and reproduce quick enough to go ahead and fill in the workforce where we need them to be. But let's go ahead and place down the berries that we can, because there's a little patch here that we can go ahead and squeeze them in on. And is this thing empty as well? We have 3 more water in that. I'm going to go ahead and pause one of our lumber things here just so we can go ahead and get planks being produced, because right now we don't have any planks being produced, and that'll come in handy if we can go ahead and get some of those being made. Other than that, there is some more things I want to go ahead and change as well, so let's actually queue up some of this stuff. So let's go ahead and place the lumber thing here, or yeah, right there should be fine. Oh, actually no, let's place it right there because we're gonna have the walkway go over to it, and then we can go ahead and connect directly into the building. And for right now, we're only going to place down one of those, and we're going to place down one of the gear factories as well, but we're going to pause the gear factory making it because we need planks to produce that, and we also need planks for the gear stuff, so we can't really kind of build that building just yet. Once this one's done, it's not really going to be that much of an issue because it's only using logs, so I'm not too worried about that. And before we go ahead and get too far into the episode, I should mention that the graphic settings are the same as I changed them for yesterday's episode of Zompiercer. So for right now, it looks a little bit better. The colors look a little more vibrant and stuff like that, so hopefully that transfers over to the video and it doesn't look weird on the capture or on the edit. But hopefully going forward here, this does look decent. If not, then this will be the same thing like last episode, or yesterday's episode, where if it does look bad, then this is going to be a one and done type thing, and on Tuesday it'll be back to normal, kind of how it was before any of the changes I made here. But all I did was go ahead and boost some of the graphic settings in my video card here, like the saturation and the hue and stuff, because of the way my capture card works. It's not necessarily built for gaming, so it's built for video, like cameras and stuff. And so on video cameras, you have a little bit more leeway and ability to like change the color on the fly there, which you don't really get on a video game console or a PC and stuff. So hopefully this looks better. And hopefully it doesn't look too terrible, and I can kind of just leave it how it is, and we can kind of see stuff at nighttime, and colors are a little more popping. But only time will tell here once I get into the editing bay and we can go ahead and see what this looks like. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and clear these things because we don't need this anymore. And if we go ahead and clear some of these bushes, because I would like to have the pathway over in this area as well, which we don't currently have available because we didn't drag a pathway to it. And we could either go this way with it, right, and walk over the top of the dam, which I think going forward we're not going to have a dam here. We're going to swap that out to the floodgates when we do get those available, which we could do right now, but I don't want to waste the points on those. And we'll end up swapping out the dam for the floodgates, so the walkway over the top of this wouldn't really work. So what I want to go ahead and do is remove 2 of these bushes, and hopefully it's not too many, but 2 of those should be fine. And with those gone, it should allow us to increase the worker area up to the border of the map. So when we go around to swapping things out, we have the range already there. And what we'll probably end up doing is just running the walkway from this area over to this area, and then maybe to about that bush, and putting a staircase down and walking it on over. So let's go ahead and clear some of these bushes, and it should be up until there. And what I also want to go ahead and do is drag a staircase over to this thing, and we can go ahead and throw a staircase onto that. That's going to allow us to go up to this level and harvest these trees when we need to. These are maple trees as well, so that's a decent amount of wood right there waiting for us. And now that we have our lumber thing up here done, we can go ahead and pause it so that we don't have an employee go into it on accident and just kind of AFK for a little bit. And what I want to go ahead and do is place down the pathways leading to it so that we can go ahead and start deleting the buildings here since we don't necessarily need them anymore. So we can go ahead and just do it like that. And we're going to have to remove the building before we can place down the gear changer or the level changer thing, which is only, I think, a 1x1 little block thing. Yeah. It's a little 1x2 high little block, and we can go ahead and place it right where the window is, or yeah, right where the window is, where it connects into the water wheel. And then we're going to need a platform there, and we're going to go ahead and turn it back onto the pathway here. So we need one more pathway, or one more platform right there. And then let's see, we're going to need planks for all of these, so we're not going to delete the building just yet. And then once all of these are done and we have a few more planks backlogged so that we can go ahead and build the other items here, we're going to go ahead and delete the building and place those things down as well so that we can go ahead and have this little area up and running here. And then we'll run this little building a little bit until we get enough planks built to go ahead and complete the gear workshop here. And then we can delete that one as well and fill in the area with some more berries. But let's go ahead and head on over here to the top right of the map. And we're going to go ahead and place down a couple of the science buildings. And we're probably going to pause these ones as well, just so they don't get built. We do have the lumber for it, but I don't want them to take priority here. And the beavers over here still haven't been born yet, so I don't know how long that's going to take. I'm actually going to go ahead and put it into 2 times here so that we kind of get some stuff done here and we're not just placing down buildings and not having anything get built. But we can go ahead and place a few of these down, and we're going to go ahead and let's do 6. I think 6 is going to be a decent number, and we should be able to go ahead and generate enough science out of these buildings to go ahead and do the whole tech tree. We could, if we have a bit more beavers, go ahead and place down more of these if we want to go ahead and try and unlock stuff even faster. But I think for right now, with the stuff that we have available, I don't know if we're actually able, or the stuff that we have down, we need maybe 1 or 2 more water things, and I think we would be fine. We might need to go ahead and have someone work in this patch of berries year round here, or around the cycle here, but for right now we should be kind of okay going forward here. I'm going to go ahead and drag the pathway on over to the areas I want to go to, and for right now we'll go ahead and plop the stairs there. I don't know if they'll go ahead and get built. I think the platforms might take priority here, but once the staircase is done, we can go ahead and run the pathway. We'll run it to about there, and then once it's done getting built, we can go ahead and check on it and see where it actually ends, and if we need to go ahead and expand out the little walkway there to go ahead and cover the area there. But we can go ahead and do this side as well. So now we should have the workers going all the way to the end, and we do indeed. Cool. I would like to have the entire little map here covered in the blue highlight here so that we have workers everywhere possible. That would be pretty cool. We can also go ahead and put a pathway over here on these ones just so that they are toggled and ready to go. And I would like to go ahead and hold off on these buildings until this stuff is done, just so that we don't pull any lumber away from it and it doesn't cause any more delays than it already is going to take. It's going to take a little while anyways. So we got that going for us. And let's see, do we have the metal stuff researched yet? We do not. We need 300 points for the grinder or the shredder. And then we need 250 points for the harvesting flag as well. We might want to go ahead and try and kind of rush that, I guess, because we do need metal for the generator thing, the engine. So we need 25 gears, 20 logs, and 20 metal. So I would like to go ahead and build a few of these because they produce 200 horsepower of energy for 1 log, it looks like. And I don't know how long that burn time is, or how much wood it's going to chug through in a day, but I would like to get some of these built because if these things run the entire day instead of having to rely on wind speeds and the water wheel, that would be great for us because then we can have our people constantly working as long as we have enough of these things down to supply the power that they need. That would be great. So I think I'm going to go ahead and hold off on buying anything. We might buy the flag just to go ahead and start harvesting some metal so that we have the metal kind of harvested and ready to go when we go ahead and get this thing built, or researched at least. And our breeder pods are putting out beavers right now. We're at 14, but they're not mature yet. We have 3 children, which we can't force into labor, which would be kind of cool, right? If we can just like cram them into a farm field or something. Just to use them, I guess. But it's fine. We got a couple going. They'll go ahead and replace the older ones when they pass away, which is cool. And we also need to go ahead and place down another one of the berry harvesting things because I didn't realize this patch here is not actually in range. Like we have 2 bushes there. and that's about it. This one's not going to reach anywhere near it. So if I go ahead and place one right here, is that going to harvest that area? It is indeed. Okay. Having this one here would be great if it covered this area as well, the little back area here. And then I can remove this guy, but it doesn't. That's a bit unfortunate, but it's going to have to do. So let me go ahead and plop that there. I'm going to have them build it, and then I'm going to pause it so that we don't have an employee in there, which we don't have one available anyways. So it's not going to matter too much here, but let me go ahead and pause that. That is the right one, right? Yeah, it's a blue flag. Okay, so we should be fine. We have plenty of lumber being generated, so again, we're fine there. And is this thing finally empty? It is indeed. Sweet. Get out of here, please. And we should be able to go ahead and place some more berries, but we're actually not. It's not within range. And I'm trying to think, how big is this thing? It's a little 2x2 area. We might want to go ahead and just remove a couple bushes here and place one of these things down, just so we can fill in the blank areas with bushes so that we have as many down as we can squeeze in this area. Oh, you know what? We can actually place it right here where the berries are missing already. Actually, no, I don't want to place it there. I want to place it somewhere within range of this one so that we can replace the berries when we need to. So let's actually remove this little patch here, and that way we can go ahead and place the forestry thing there. We can fill in the area with as many bushes as we can, which isn't going to be that much. And then we can go ahead and just delete it and replace the berry bushes when we need to. Actually, can we go any further with this one? We can't. And I'm not sure, but I think the berry bushes spread. Or did I place one there? Because these guys can sometimes place things one outside their radius. So maybe that's what I did on accident. I'm not quite sure. But the pathways are done, or the platforms are done. Let's go ahead and place down the forestry building here and pause it as well so that we're not pulling the planks. How many planks do we have? We don't have any planks at the moment. This guy is not working for some reason. Oh, I guess he wasn't in there. He's probably eating or something. Okay, so we're going to need, let's see here. We're going to need two more. No, we're going to need one more of these. So we need 4 planks. And then we're going to need one of these guys, which is another 2 planks. So we need 6 planks built. And once those are done, we can go ahead and delete the building and place them here to go ahead and run the power to this thing. So that's pretty great. I don't think we need planks for the rods here, right? No, we don't. Okay, so let me go ahead and run these as well so that we have them already ready to go here. So that can go there. We're also going to need a turn in the thing here. And then we're going to need another turn there and then the power signal bit there. Oh, you know what? It's building the staircases, isn't it? It is indeed. I'm going to pause the staircases for the time being because I would like to move the building before the staircases are built. There's really no point in having the staircases built just yet. All right, so we got 6 of the planks ready to go here. Let's go ahead and remove the building, and we can go ahead and place down one of the platforms right there. And then we can go ahead and place down the high power shaft, which is going to allow us to go up a level. And we can just go ahead and plug that right into the side of the water wheel here. And then we're going to need one of the corner pieces here to go ahead and connect into the power shaft. And then once those items are done getting built, this one up here should start getting power. And we can actually go ahead and delete this thing now since we don't need it. There's no planks or gears in there. We couldn't get them out of there anyways, even if we wanted to. So now we should be good. Let me go ahead and also place down the berries here. We can't place them underneath the platform, which is kind of a bummer, but it's a thing that's eating up space anyway, so it's fine. And then let's see, do we need to go ahead and enable any more of the berry things? We might need to go ahead and enable some of them, but we are doing pretty decent on food at the moment, so I'm not too stressed out about it just yet. I do, however, need our beavers to go ahead and mature because right now we don't have people working in certain places that should be having people working them because they're not growing up. One of our science things isn't running at the moment, and I think that's mostly just it. Our water things are fine, right? Yeah, the water things are fine. So now that we have the 300 science points, we should be able to go ahead and research the thingy, which we can, the scavenger flag for the metal. And once we go ahead and get that, we can go ahead and place a couple flags down, but we don't have the people working, so it's not really going to do anything at the moment. But what I want to go ahead and do is place down one of these things, these small warehouses. And for right now, we can go ahead and place it right here. Actually, right there, right here, right there. Right here should be fine. It should be fine right there. And once that's done getting built, I want to go ahead and enable it to only accept the scrap metal that this thing is going to be producing, so that we have, what is that, 200 storage capacity of scrap metal in one storage thing, so that we have a decent amount backlogged and ready to go when we do have the scrapper thing up and running here. Okay, we have a couple more people available to work, so what I want to go ahead and do is re-enable our lumberjack thing over here so that we have more wood being harvested. And I also want to go ahead and toggle the berry bushes here, or actually this one here, so that we have double up on the berries here, and they're also harvesting the berries here now. So that way we have more food coming in, which I don't think we're necessarily hurting on just yet. I do, however, want to go ahead and pause some of these guys when we get to around probably 25. I want to go ahead and pause maybe 3 or 4 of them, just so that we don't have a lot of them coming in constantly, just so we don't accidentally produce too many and end up like starving ourselves or something like that going into the next drought. I also want to go ahead and remove this lumber storage thing and move it over here on the soil that's not plantable, because right now we're utilizing, what is that, a 3x3 little area of potential lumber growth, which we can go ahead and squeeze more lumber in on that little corner there, which we can't do over here since it's not growable. So let's go ahead and place that on over here, and it looks like we might be able to squeeze 2 of them in here. If we're lucky, we can place this one there. I kind of want to pause it just so they don't accidentally build this thing. Let me see if we can do that. And no, because how big it is. Yeah, we can't place 2 of these here. Okay, never mind. Let me go ahead and remove that. Let's go ahead and unpause it, and we can go ahead and cram this thing in right there for right now. That should be fine. And once this thing is done getting built, we are going to go ahead and hopefully have this one empty into it. And then we can go ahead and plant some trees there when it's done. But the connection over here is done. So now we have lumber being cut into planks again, which is pretty great. And all of our workers are toggled again. Oh, yeah, I just set them on the flag things here. Okay. We also have the staircases done as well now, so we can go ahead and see the worker range, which is pretty good. We might even be able to back this pathway up a little bit so that it's not so far out. Let's try 3 of them, and is that still covering the entire area? It is not, so let's go ahead and scoot that forward 1. And we actually need it back up to 2 because it's not covering the entire area still. And actually 3 was as far as we needed to go. Never mind. And it's even in line with the one across the water there, so that probably would have been a good indicator there. My bad. But there we go. We have it all the way connected in. The entire little side here is blue. We can even go ahead and pull a pathway down this way a little bit to go ahead and get workers the range needed to cover that area. And let's go 2 more. Or actually 1 more. We can't go 2 more. And that should be all of the lumber for the most part right here. And it looks like once all of the lumber is gone, we have a natural staircase leading up to the next little layer, which is great for us. So let me go ahead and just toggle all of this lumber to be cut down. And then when we need it, we can go ahead and throw down one of the lumber flags here to go ahead and harvest the lumber here, which I don't know if we're actually going to need it because this little chunk of lumber is producing a decent amount at the moment. And depending on when we go about getting the engine, that'll kind of dictate whether or not we need more of these lumber yards set up or not. Because, again, I don't know how much that's going to actually chew through. Okay, so we got the forester over here built. Let's go ahead and fill in the area that we can with it. So let's just go ahead and highlight as much as we can in one go. And this is going to allow us to fill in all of the little empty spots, which is great. And once this guy's done, we can go ahead and delete them and just replant the berries that are there with this forester over there. Let's clear this little thing here so that we don't have it kind of doing something weird. And this covers a decent amount of space. And I feel like if I would have placed this maybe more central, we might be able to cover this area and the lumber. Maybe. We can't exactly see that by hovering over the bushes here, which is kind of a bummer. It would be great if we could, just to kind of see if we should remove the bushes or not. But for right now, we're kind of just having it plant stuff, and then once it's done, we'll remove it. And we're also probably going to do it over here again as well, because we have all of this coastline going back this way, which isn't a whole lot. We also have this layer that the lumber is on at the moment. And we're also going to want to go ahead and place some berries over here and fill in this little area as well. But that's going to have to hold off for a little bit until this one's done. Maybe next episode, maybe right now we'll do it. We are producing planks pretty slowly since we only have one of the tower thing, or the buildings built, and then the water wheel, which is reliant on the current here, which isn't super great. And we are really low on water. I don't know when that just happened. I'm going to go ahead and pause all of the breeding pods here because we have a drought coming in 2.8 days. And we only have 70 water backlogged at the moment, which is a little worrying. We might need to go ahead and place down more of these right now, actually. Well, it's actually not going to matter because the drought's right on us, and we're not going to have that building built in time. But the forester is actually done planting already, so we can clear the little tilled area here. And then we can go ahead and delete the building as well, so let's do that. And clear everything out like that, and remove the building, please. And then have this guy over here replant those. And I have a feeling all the berry bushes going into this drought is going to kind of bonus because of how much water they're going to pull during the drought. And we're probably going to dry out the river relatively quick. But since we do have a drought coming in, we can go ahead and build some of these science buildings because we can run these throughout the droughts and hopefully have enough science points being generated to go ahead and build some more, or unlock some more of the blueprints here to go ahead and build things. So I'm going to go ahead and toggle all of them because they're just logs, so they're not that expensive to build. And we have 230 backlogged right now with a decent amount of wood still there to go ahead and harvest. But hopefully we can go ahead and get those things built by the drought, and then we have a decent amount being generated throughout it and start the next little drought cycle here on some good footing. We're really close to unlocking the shredder, which is only 300 points, and we're sitting at 213 at the moment. And I think we have the ability to make all of that at the moment. The scrap needs to be harvested from this thing, and then the planks and the gears, which will take a little while to generate, but we have the ability to make those. And then we need another 400 on top of that to get the generator going, the engine. So hopefully we have our water situation kind of squared away. I don't know why these guys are so slow. I think they have to walk all the way here, I think is what's happening. And then these guys don't pump constantly throughout the day. We might want to go ahead and invest in maybe getting one of these things down, the hauling posts, so that we have more employees moving things. That might come in handy, actually. So we're rolling into the drought here, and I went ahead and toggled them to remove some bushes so we can go ahead and place down one more of these things, and they're kind of not doing it. So we might want to go ahead and prioritize it, but we have 53 water going into this. The riverbed, which we desperately probably want to go ahead and plop down one of the sensor things on it, the depth markers, just so we can kind of keep track of how deep this thing is, which, in all honesty, last drought it ended and we drained the river here with like 0.2 or 0.3 days left to go. So I have a feeling this is going to dry out a lot quicker this time around because we have so many more bushes down this time, and I don't know how well that's going to turn out for our beavers here. But the science thing over here on the hillside is coming along nicely. We have 2 more left to be built, and we currently have 300 science points, so we can go ahead and unlock the shredder. So let's go ahead and do that. And we can't actually power that thing, right? It's 250 horsepower, and the water wheel only produces 180, so we need more of those. Or we can hold off and build it with this thing, but we actually need the shredder built before we can build this. So we actually need to place down more water wheels, or these ones, which they only produce 50 power, so I really don't want to waste my time building those. Can we squeeze one more of these in sideways like this? No, it's too close. We could if we had dynamite. We can clear a little bit of the land and place it there, but right now we can't. And if I had placed this in a different way, we could have built it with one of these things, with the little T-junctions, and we could have plugged in another water wheel like that. But now we need another one of the step-up things, which we don't really have the gears to do at the moment. Actually, we do. It's only 1 gear, so we could do that. Let's see. What else do we want to go ahead and try and save up and buy? We're going to buy this thing next for 400, and we might want to go ahead and buy something else. I'm not quite sure about the houses. Those might come in handy. They also might not, because we're kind of having to dictate when we do and don't have any beavers coming in, just for the sake of keeping control of the water and stuff right now. But there we go. We have the water thing over here gone, so we can go ahead and place down one of the pumps here to go ahead and pull more water out. And I think that's about it for right now. We might want to go ahead and buy the floodgate as well. It's 150 points, which we're kind of close to getting, which will come in handy right here at least. Not so much over here until we start getting dynamite and leveling out the riverbed here, but that's going to be a little ways away before we can actually do that. I wonder if it's almost worth cutting down the lumber over here, because I think these trees that are growing are taking from the water here. I think, is that how it works? So let me just actually place down some of the lumber things over here and have them begin cutting the lumber down. And then I can go ahead and pause the lumber that's over here so that we're not pulling from the main little field anymore. And they should go over here, clear this little field, and then we should be okay. And the only things pulling water would be the berries and our trees. I think, if that's how it works. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. Okay, well, we have 0.8 days left in the drought here, and the riverbed just dried out, so I think we're going to be fine, in all honesty. The berry bushes take days to go ahead and dry out and go bad, so I think we're fine there. We have 106 water right now in the storage, so again, I think we're going to be completely fine going out of this drought. We do have enough science points to go ahead and research the other thing here, so for right now, we can go ahead and unlock this thing, or we can hold off on that since we can't actually build that anytime soon until we get the scrapper going. So actually what I want to go ahead and do is do the dynamite if we're able to, because that's going to be more important right now than the generator thing. So let's go ahead and unlock that, and we're going to have a ton of science still being generated, so we should be able to go ahead and reach the 600 required for the sticks themselves, and then we can go ahead and start producing that again. And then we're also going to need the paper mill, which is another 250 points, so we're going to need 850 science before we can actually start leveling the riverbed here. So what I think I'm going to go ahead and do is save up some more science. I'm not going to break these buildings down or these ones, and we're just going to go ahead and let them run for a little bit, and hopefully by next episode I have the paper mill and then the sticks over here researched as well. And then hopefully by next episode or the episode following, we can go ahead and start laying out the dynamite to go ahead and start leveling out the riverbed here. And that will go ahead and help us a little bit here. We also need to go ahead and start the production of the scrapper or the shredder itself, so that at some point here we can go ahead and build the engine as well. But I think for right now, that's actually going to go ahead and be it for today's episode. So hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.